Multimedia Reflection by Hope Valdez. I used to think of social studies involving visions of old, dusty history books, as endless dates on a timeline, as tales of explorers sailing the ocean blue, as geography with technical terminology such as plateau, isthmus, peninsulas, tundras, and archipelagos, as with the different forms of government and branches of government, as well as the different parties, and as economics with supply and demand, inflation, revenue, and currency. These classes were irrelevant to me and left me bored. What did they really have to do with me anyway? And when it came time for assignments, more often than not, I was driven to tears of frustration because I just didn't understand social studies. I couldn't have been farther from the truth. Things have changed since I was in elementary school. Focus on making learning more worthwhile for students has occurred. The social studies curriculum today is essential in that it bridges the gap of students from not only experience in the world now and in the past, but to interpreting and understanding it as well. 10 thematic strands have been incorporated to provide the framework by the National Council for the Social Studies to ensure the focus of social studies is on elevating civic competencies and emphasizing the importance of educating students who are committed to the ideas and values of democracy. While all 10 strands are very important, I will briefly discuss a select few individually. Culture is the first of the thematic strands. My experience in the past with culture in the classroom has been on a much more superficial level than the substantive culture learning discussed by Mary Merrifield in the reading from elementary students in substantive culture learning. I used to think the way I had experienced cultural learning through food, dress, and customs and holidays was correct. Now I think that it is important to teach culture based on an appreciation of the perspective of others, recognizing stereotypes and addressing them directly, as well as using primary sources from other cultures when discussing those cultures. Doing this will help my students understand and appreciate other cultures on a much deeper level. Change is happening all around us. History takes into consideration changes from the past, present, and future. One valuable idea for teaching change is to counteract presentism, which is the act of viewing the past by contrasting it with the present. By looking at the past, we are able to learn a lot about ourselves and possible implications for the future. I used to think that history was so boring. Now I think that it is a necessity. How will we be able to promote students being change makers in the world without studying how the world has changed? We are all born with rights. Unfortunately, not all of us get those rights. I used to not think about my rights. They were just there. After doing research about the Declaration of Human Rights and the Convention of the Right of the Child, I realized that my rights are something that I should hold dear. I want to instill in my students a compassion for their fellow man and a desire to press for all to have rights they deserve. My parents always had a garden, but I was always too lazy to get out and work in it with them. I would simply prefer to buy my produce at the store. It is important for students to understand that as citizens of this world, it is our job to take care of it, to take action to help improve the conditions of our planet. A food system encompasses all attributes of food production, processing, transportation and trade, consumption, and disposal. We all need food for survival, so we all have a part in this food system. Most students don't realize where their food from the grocery store comes from. With the development of technology and transportation, our food supply is on a global level, as opposed to years ago when things were all local. I am pleased that the students at Blue Creek Elementary have all contributed to, planted, and helped maintain a large garden with fruits, vegetables, flowers, and herbs. They also have chickens, a chicken coop as well, within the courtyard at the school. Mr. Babner, my field experience teacher, said that the goal was to be able to provide enough food for the school for 1 week if the need arose. This has been a wonderful hands-on activity that the students have thoroughly enjoyed. One way that teachers can teach lessons on going green or any other social studies lesson is to provide a lesson that includes a notable trade book. These books have been evaluated and selected by a committee appointed by National Council for the Social Studies. They are usually written for children in grades K through 8 and on a variety of topics from human relations to diversity and other sensitive topics. As citizens, we all share our home called Earth. We are all connected. While our histories are different, we all have histories. Our geography may differ, but it is still geography. What I do at my home may not affect you at yours, but what all do to our planet does affect it. Let's make it a priority to learn about our home's past, explore her beautiful geography, and live peacefully in the interconnected world that we live in.